It's The Last Stand. And here is your host, Brian Custer.
That's right. It is The Last Stand. We bring you the biggest names in the sport. I'm Brian Custer. Joining me today is the former WBC super welterweight champion of the world. You know him as Super Bad. Tony Harrison is back with us. What's up, T?
What up, BC? What's the deal, baby?
It's good to have you because March 12th, Australia, you've got Tim Tszyu. Originally, it was supposed to be Charlo in Tszyu. We know he fractured his hand, has to pull out. They had talked about redoing this thing in the summer. Tszyu says, well, you know what? I want to take a tune-up fight. I want to stay active. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Tony Harrison is going to fight Tim Tszyu. That's no tune-up fight. Tell us, how did you come into the mix? And tell us why you said yes to Tim Tszyu.
I don't even know how I came in the mix, BC. You know what I mean? Like I just was an advocate on Twitter when I seen Charlo, hurt his hand, and I said I step in. You know what I mean? I didn't hear nothing else from there for about a month. You know what I mean? When I said I would step in, I think he was originally scheduled to fight like the Russian kid that's like WBO or something like that. But for me, for me to say yeah. Introduce me how you just introduced me again.
You the former WBC super welterweight champion of the world.
That shit don't sit right with me. The word former don't even sit right with me. You know what I mean? So for me, I feel like I lost something that belongs to me. You know what I mean? My whole role to get what I just lost back. So whoever I had to fight, whatever I had to do to get there, you know what I mean? It was just like I need to do. Like my mind, my gut, like something doesn't sit right. Every night I go to sleep, something doesn't sit right with me. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I lost something to somebody I shouldn't have lost to. So whether it would have been anybody, you know what I mean? But for me to get the fight with Tim Tszyu, and I'm like, damn, he already number one. He already next up. And I'm like, if I could skip the line and just go ahead and fight a guy like that, it just made perfect sense for me.
So, he's a pressure fighter along the lines of, the analogy is not the best, but he's kind of like a Jarrett Hurd, where he's just pressure. How do you see this fight with you and Tim Tszyu playing out in the ring?
To be honest, man, Tim is he's a very tough fighter, man. But it's literally like he's so basic to me, man. He's just like he's somebody I see around the block, like on like he's somebody I see like at the park when I fight somebody at the park. You know what I mean? Like it's not nothing special about him. Like his defense is not stellar, his offense ain't stellar. You know what I mean? Like he's a very tough competitor. And for me, I think my last fight is just preparation for the same kind of guy I'm fighting. I fought a guy Sergio Garcia who does the exact same shit. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just like, why wouldn't I take that fight? I just wiped out Sergio Garcia that fought Fondora, that had a tough fight with Fondora, and I wiped him out and I won every round. So why wouldn't I take a fight like that? I'm fighting the exact same person.
But you're fighting him in Australia, where obviously he's an unbeaten fighter, but he is really big there. Can you win a decision, you think, in Australia?
BC, I don't even think about that, to be honest. Like, I don't even think about me winning a decision. I think it's televised. So long as it's televised, to me, that's my win. That's my champions. That's my win. Whether they cheat me or not, that's my win. The people will be able to say I won or I lost. You know what I mean? It's gonna be some people that's gonna say no, you lost. But everybody get to see it for their own two eyes. And whether win, lose, or draw, if I win it and they take it from me, I exploited the person that they thought was real.
He got, and talking about Tim Tszyu, he got dropped by Terrell Gausha when he had his fight here in the States. Then he dominated the fight there afterwards. What did you see in that fight when you watched it? You said, yeah, I can get this guy.
I mean, he's a game guy, man. He's a game guy. I just don't think nobody has the IQ that I have. I don't think nobody used the jab the way I use my jab. I don't think nobody used the length the way I use my length, and the ring the way I use the ring. So I think Terrell, being older, being the kind of fighter he is, a shell kind of fighter, I just think it was lining up for Tim to be successful. You know what I mean? So, Terrell never gave him any angles, never gave him any turns, because the guy comes straight forward. Like, he's just like one gear. He's one gear. He, like, when I look at him, he's just one. He just go. You know what I mean? Nothing is set up. Nothing is nothing like he's not setting up anything. He's just going. You know what I mean? Like, And I just think if Terrell would have gave more jabs, more feints, more angles, I just thought Terrell would have made the fight just a little more interesting. I think the knockdowns happened in the fight, so I really wasn't like too much press or highly pressed that he got knocked down and got back up and won the fight. I thought that for me it just showed the kind of level of fighter that he is, and he's definitely a championship level fighter. But I was geeked up that he did. I was geeked up that he got up off the mat, and basically damn near won every round after that. But I just think Terrell didn't open up his bag of offense. You know what I mean? Like I think Terrell got so much more in his offensive bag that he didn't give. You know what I mean? So I just think, man, with my length, my IQ, my skill, I just think it's me versus Sergio Garcia again.
Now, listen, you haven't been the most active, let's say, fighter over the past 3 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think boxing writers and boxing fans are going to say after Tony Harrison fights Tim Tszyu?
I see why this motherfucker was not fighting for 3 years. I see why they kept him on the bench. You know what I mean? Like for me, I didn't like for me to be honest, nobody's really fighting. Like who was really fighting? You know what I mean? So really, I like to pinpoint myself, but like nobody's really been active like that, like in the last 3 years. You know what I mean? I think Lubin had a pretty good run of activity, but other than Lubin, I don't really see nobody that was really like truly like 3 fights a year, 4 fights a year at the top level. You know what I mean? I think Charlo had 2 fights 1 year, but nobody's really been like super active. Nobody's really been like super act like. And it was another thing that was easy for me to take this fight. Like he been off just as long as I have. You know what I mean? So it ain't like he got the ups on me. Like he been off and I've been off. He been off 300 some days. I've been off like 300 some days. So it wasn't hard. Like the basis for me, everything lined up. He been off. I've been off. He need to fight. I need to fight.
From a skills perspective, what do you think boxing writers and fans are going to be saying once they see you in the ring?
That's a bad motherfucker. That's a bad motherfucker right there. You know what I mean? Like I pride myself on being the baddest motherfucker at all times. You know, I may not knock you out, but damn it, I'm gonna embarrass you. I'm gonna embarrass you. I'm gonna out slick you. I'm gonna out wheel you. I'm gonna get gritty with you when it's time to get gritty. I love the sport, man. I love the sport, man. I love everything about the sport. So, like, everybody ain't blessed with power. You know what I mean? And besides the power, it's nothing else I don't have. You know what I mean? So I just feel like I'm just gonna outwit him. I'm gonna outskill him. I'm gonna have fun in there, BC. I just know it. I'm gonna have fun in it. I really don't see too many ways he can beat me, to be honest.
I love that at 154, there's so many you guys are back. I mean, even heard Jared Hurd talking about coming back and being a lot more active, things of that nature. And I think I've asked you this in the past, and I'll ask it to you once again. For those who will be watching, those who are going to listen and watch this show, is Tony Harrison still the elite, one of the elite guys at 154?
I mean, if you call him elite, then I guess you'll see March 12th. You know what I'm saying? If you call him elite, it's really BC. It's not many guys in the world, man, that can beat me, man. Like it's not like, you know, fighting her and I enjoy the competitiveness with everybody, but it wasn't a fight that I lost that I wasn't winning. You know what I mean? So in my mind, like out of however many rounds I boxed, 1,000 something rounds, I probably lost like 20. You know what I mean? Like I don't lose many rounds. So if you get me, you gotta come prepared. You gotta be like, every box you got to be checked off. All my boxes ain't really got to be checked off. You know what I mean? That's what happens when God gives you the kind of skill that I have. Every box for me don't have to be checked off to win a fight. For them, every box got to be checked off. They got to be in the best shape. They got to be able to take a punch. They got to be able to get through the fire to get to the water. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm just like, I got too many attributes that everybody else don't have. You know what I mean? Like you could talk about the power, but I got way too many other attributes that everybody else don't have, man. And I'm just like, I'm ready to showcase that. I'm ready to get active. And me to take a fight like this in 6 weeks, you know, it's got to be something in my mind that's more confident than everybody else shit.
That's true. That's true. Now, listen, I know we've talked about this in the past, and you've even said this. Whenever you've taken a loss, it's because of you losing, let's say, focus. Let's say, because you've been winning and maybe I lost focus. So are those issues behind you? And is this one of those fights where you're like, oh no, I'm all focused for this one?
Man, I'm so locked in, man. I'm really like I told myself, like I told my brother. See, I was already like preparing myself because I knew something was gonna come up. I knew something was gonna come up. You know what I mean? I put the liquor down. I put the hookah down. Like, and then but that's in my mind. I'm like, something's gonna happen. You know what I mean? God is preparing you for something because there's no way my mind just click away to just put those things down out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So I put all that shit down and I'm like, just lock in. The moment I locked in, 3 weeks later they calling me with this fight. And I said yes, 100. Like it wasn't even. I didn't even say I call you, but you know, a lot of times you're like, oh, let me talk to my team. Yes, it was yes, 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 yes. Immediately yes. You know what I mean? I love everything about going to Australia. I love everything about the hostile environment. Like I love Rocky Balboa when he went over there and beat Drago. You know, so like in my mind, like I love everything about those scenarios. I'm from Detroit, so I love everything about those kind of scenarios. You know what I mean? So it's like for me, I'm like, damn, this is one. They got me going against another one of the top guys and one of the best people in the world. I'm like, what better way to show that I'm the best fighter in the world? You know what I mean? And then not only that, I get the only guy I've been chasing when I win this fight. Like I only want one guy, and I'm
Right.
done. I only want one guy. I'm out of it. You probably get. I'm going in the rafters after that. Like I want one guy. I'm in the
Jermell.
rafters. I want one guy. Listen to me, B. If I could just skip everything else, I wouldn't fight nobody. If he just said he would fight me right now, I'd be like, all right, you know what, Tim? Go fight somebody else. All I want is one guy. I want one guy that got what I thought I gave to him. You know what I mean? I feel like I gave it to him. You know what I mean? So I think I got too many sides of my fight. Like I you know, a lot of times everybody see me box, but nobody ever seen me walk forward until I fought Jamel the second time. You know what I'm saying? Then he got on his bicycle. So I just think when my mind is in it and I'm focused, you could bet the house on me, B. Go, Bob, whatever you got in your bank account, B. If when I'm focused, bet it. Bet it. I don't give a fuck what it is. You can tell me you bet $1 trillion. Bet it. When with a focus Harrison, they can't fuck with, bro. They I'm telling you, bro. Like that's just how I feel. Like they can't beat me when I'm focused, man.
What did you think when you saw on Twitter? Errol Spence said, "I'm betting 10K on a Harrison upset."
What's crazy about it? Like I got mixed feelings about that. Like that's my like me and Errol Spence is like we cool. You know what I mean? Like we always been cool for years. You know what I mean? But for him to put that and announce that to the world, even though Jamel is his boy, I'm like, that's some solid shit. You know what I'm saying? But don't nothing rule more than money. Like, you know what I mean? I can have a relationship with anybody, but if it's time to win some easy money, you can't stop me from winning no easy money. And like the whole world see that. I just feel like I got too much in my bag. I got too much for Tim. Tim has never fought really nobody for real. You know what I'm saying? Like Jeff Horn. Who the fuck is Jeff Horn? You know what I'm saying? Like he fighting those kind of guys. You know what I mean? Like so, you know, the only guy he beat was Terrell Gausha. The only guy. You know what I mean? And you know, like Terrell just don't have the attributes that I have. You know what I mean? The confidence I carry and the attributes I have, I just don't. I don't see myself losing to this guy, B. I don't even see how this guy can beat me. He got like little arms and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, how about this? Since Errol already said that he's got 10K on you beating Tim Tszyu, what do you think about Spence and Thurman now, who are going to fight? Looks like now in May. Who wins that fight? You think?
Listen to me, man. I'm gonna tell people over and over and over again. I love Keith. I love the way Keith fight. I love Keith. But when God got his hand on your soul, can't nobody beat that, man. Can't you know the kind of accidents that Earl get into? Like he walking with God himself. Like God himself is standing by Earl. You know what I mean? So it's really like no, and it's really ain't too many people I'm gonna bet against Earl with. You know what I mean? So I just think like he's a hard beat right now. He's a hard beat. You know, he came off an accident and fought Ugas and came off fought Danny. He beating some stellar guys, man, coming off of accidents with no tune-ups. You know what I mean? So he's already confident in himself. You know what I'm saying? That's half of the battle, just being confident in yourself. He's 100,000% confident in himself, man. I don't see nobody I just don't see many guys beating him. I think Terrence Crawford and him is the closest thing to even to me.
You're also obviously now the trainer of Alycia Baumgardner. You've helped her become a unified champ, that big win over Michaela Mayer.
Mm-hmm.
How did you two get connected? And when did you start thinking like, yo, I'm going to be a professional trainer now as well?
To be honest, man, I just never had the opportunity to train. You know, I've been training amateur kids and going to national tournaments with amateurs as a head coach for about 16, about 10 years, about 10 years. You know what I mean? Then my dad started training AB. You know what I mean? So he started with her, and we just, you know, we was just teammates. You know, we was very good teammates. My dad passed. My brother took on the job, and I was always the assistant. You know, because I was still fighting. I was always the assistant. But she always heard my ear. She always heard my knowledge. You know what I mean? Then, you know, that passed away. Well, not my brother passed away, but the time they had passed away. And I stepped up. She like, I want you to be my head trainer. I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? And ever since then, like I enjoy training so much. If I could stop boxing and train, and I could be like my full-time trainer, like full-time, I would do it, man. I would do it, but I love I'm like a walking encyclopedia for me. It's like I feel like I'm a young walking encyclopedia. I just think that fighters would never give me the opportunity. So AB gave me the opportunity, but fighters would never give me the opportunity. And I just think because I'm 32. You know what I mean? Like most of the time you look at trainers, they 60, they 65, they 55. And I guess they think knowledge comes with time, but knowledge also comes with experience. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I've experienced everything. You know, my dad was my first trainer. Then I got with the best trainer to the world, and that was Emmanuel Stewart. And then my granddad taught my dad, which is Henry Hank, which had a ton of knowledge in himself. So I just think the people I've been around, like it's no way you can't learn from me. You know what I mean? It's no way you can't pick my brain and learn from me.
How do you then balance being a professional trainer, especially with AB, and then your professional career as a fighter and running your gym?
Right. So the thing is, boxing as a fighter has been so inconsistent. Like, you know, like I said, we fighting one time a year. You know what I mean? Like for AB fighting, she fighting 2-3 times and 4 times a year. You know what I mean? So like that was I picked that up, and it became priority to me only because I love the game of boxing so much. But as a fighter, I wasn't able to be active. So she kept me in the sport. Like she kept me relevant in the sport. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for that situation, because if she wouldn't, if I wasn't training her and I wasn't fighting all the time, all the whole year, I fought one time last year, one time the year before that. So I probably would have been out here selling, you know. I probably would have just been out here I would have just been like, I don't know what I would have been doing, to be honest, B. But, you know, when she started training, I started training. You know what I mean? So when she runs, I run. You know what I mean? So that's why when I just weighed in at 165, I was already running with her. I was already training with her. Yeah. When she trained, I trained. When she strengthened, when I gave her a strengthening set, I was strengthening with her. You know what I mean? So I was already still in the lab. And that's to my young fighters. I just want to tell them, like, everything ain't for content. Everything ain't to be put out on your Instagram page. Because for me, I'm just like, damn, I'm already a hard beat, right? But if he knew that I was already working, if I publicize everything and I put in there, I'm working out this, and even though I ain't got no fight coming up, I'm posting me sparring, I'm posting me training, I'm posting me doing. It's a no. It's an easy no. It's an easy no. You know what I mean? So for all my young guys, I'm just like, bro, like everything don't got to be posted. Because my thing is, I got this opportunity probably from not posting. The moment that contract signed, I said, I'm 165. I've been working. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've been working, in the sparring I've been having is like stellar. I've been sparring a guy, Charles Conwell, and his brother, Wop. I've been sparring Charles Conwell, which Charles is the exact version of Tim Tszyu. I've been sparring Charles for about 4 or 5 years. You know, Michigan and Ohio is like right around the corner from each other. Not only that, like the intensity, if you watch me and him spar, the intensity is, if you ever seen Michigan play Ohio State, that's me and him in the ring together. It's like, it's amazing. Like, and me and his brother is the same exact way. So Michigan versus, I'm talking about, we about to fight after the bell. And you know, we about to elbow each other. Like the intensity is there, but Charles is double what I think Tim Tszyu, for the eye. I just think he's double that. You know what I mean? Because Charles' offensive bag is like double what Tim Tszyu get. You know what I mean? His defense is better. His offensive bag is better. So I just think I'm all the way prepared because I've been sparring Charles for 3-4 years now consistently. Every time I got an Orthodox, I'm sparring him.
And my last question on Alycia, I know she's got a big fight here February 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Do you see Alycia as becoming the undisputed champion?
Man, listen to me. It's like if you watch AB now and you watch her 2 years ago, you gonna see similarities in Harrison. You know what I mean? Like you gonna see the swag, you gonna see the sharp jab, you gonna see the good movement, you gonna see the good hit. It's no spot in that ring that AB's uncomfortable at. Like she's always comfortable, and that's the main thing was just finding her comfortability, like letting her be comfortable with herself. You know what I mean? Like helping her be confident in who she was as a fighter. Man, she's the best fighter that I've seen with my own two eyes as a female. You know what I mean? Besides Clarissa. I think Clarissa and her are literally two women that have similar styles to men. You know what I mean? Like you see women fighting, they still look like women. You know what I mean? Like they throw right hands, left hooks, and jab down to the body just like we do. They look just like us. You know what I mean? So I just think AB's gonna be undisputed. And I think the sky is the limit. I tell this girl all day. I said, the way you looking now in the gym, stop having tune-up fights, right? Stop no tune-up fights no more. Go fight Katie Taylor. That's who should be next for that girl. Go fight Katie Taylor.
That's great. So let's talk about Tony Harrison real quick here. Who's next on the hit list, let's say at 154? And when do you see Tony Harrison moving up to 160?
Tony Harrison, you would never see Tony Harrison at 160, ever. 154, I've been 154 since I was 15 years old. And I'm in my career at 154. Like I said, my whole goal is to fight Jermell Charlo. When I get that fight again, win, lose, or draw, it's probably gonna be it for me. You know what I mean? Like I don't need this sport for money. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hang around past my time to hang around. You know what I mean? Like for me, my next fight is literally when I beat this guy. It's literally Jermell. It's like it's nobody else for me unless he say no, or unless he find a way to wiggle out of it. It's literally like me and him. I gotta my whole focus is getting what I lost back. Unless he relinquish that WBC belt and I get to fight somebody for that belt, I want that belt back. I want that. I don't care about I don't care about the IBF. I don't care about WBO. I want that green belt back. And unless he relinquish that, I want to end my career trying to fight to get that back.
Before we get to some of the viewer questions, I got to ask you, how's Superbad Jim doing? And, for those who may want to help out, how can they contact you or contact the gym to help out and make sure they support the gym?
I mean, the gym is the gym, and we don't. You know me, man. I'm a man's man, B. And sometimes I think it hurts me because I don't do no asking. You know what I mean? I don't do no asking for help. You know what I mean? Like everybody in our community, everybody in the world see what I do with these kids each and every day, and it's like not a day that goes by that I'm stopping or I'm like I need to take a vacation from. I've been doing this every single day since my gym opened in 8 years ago. So, our gym been leaking. It's still leaking right now. So our gym got buckets in the ring. And listen to me, it's who the fuck gonna complain? I'm not complaining. You know what I mean? So anybody that want to help, man, they more than welcome to, and I'm more than gratified for it. You know what I mean? So you can contact me on Instagram or write me on Instagram, and I'll probably send you a link to help us out and do something. But you don't never catch me out here asking. Like if I need it, I go get it. I went and got the gym, all the equipment. I fought for it. Half of the roof is fixed. I fought for it. I paid for it. You know what I mean? So, I'm not asking for nobody for nothing. I'm at the stage in my life I don't ask nobody for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And my kids, we don't ask nobody for nothing. We put up with the weather, we put up with the rain, we put up with the puddles, and we continue.
But I'll tell the people who will watch this, listen, if you want to do something, make sure you support Superbad Jim, because Tony does a lot for the community there, and it's needed there in Detroit. The deal. People who watch this and listen, they always submit questions through social media. We got a number of them, so we'll just get to a few.
Okay.
Jamar asks, what class of fighter do you consider Tim Tszyu? A, B, C, D, F? In
this world where you don't really get guys that I see really like showing a lot of skill, I would put Tim at a B.
Okay.
He's a B level.
Okay. VAR asks, what are your thoughts on Bud Crawford saying he wants to move up and challenge Jermell Charlo at 154?
I think that's what fighters are supposed to do. You know, I love it, man. I love the competitive nature. I love TC though. I love the competitiveness in him, and I love that Jermell is competitive, and I think that makes for an amazing fight. That's an amazing fight down to happen.
No Nonsense Boxing asks, how do you see a fight between yourself and Fondora going?
I beat all these guys. I'm not shying away from nobody. I would have beat all these guys, man.
El Bandera Roja asks, when people call you a pure boxer, how does that make you feel? And do you feel that your power is underrated?
I'm gonna start with the last question. My power, I don't think it's really underrated, but because you don't really just see guys walking in on me like that. You know what I mean? So they ain't just, they game plan has to be get in, right? So they ain't on the outside trying to box us. They have to get in, but when they feel it, they like, this motherfucker, already quick, already sharp, but this motherfucker got a little pop in that motherfucker punch too. You know what I'm saying? So I think they respect it, man, and to be classified as a pure boxer, man, I love it. I don't want to be the hardest puncher. I don't want to be the toughest guy in the ring. Like I hate when people say that guy's your chin. BC. I think why I get knocked down and the fight that I lost, I've been knocked down or knocked out, or the referee stopped the fight. It's because I really don't get hit much. So when somebody hit me clean, that motherfucking shit hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like a shock to my body. Like, damn, this motherfucker hit you hard today. You know what I mean? Like, because I really don't get hit clean. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't really like too many times you see me get like, bam, bam. Like, you know what I mean? You see me get hit clean. You know what I mean? Like, and another thing for like guys that don't know the sport of boxing, it has nothing to do with my chin. You know what I mean? Like, if I didn't have a chin, you would knock me out in 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 6. It takes you 11 rounds, 10 rounds to do it. That means my body's just exhausted. I have nothing left. I have nothing left to even stay up for. Like, my legs won't even stay up no more. So that's a lot of that time, it just be exhaustion. It don't even be these guys are hitting me because like I said, Jermell, this fight was stopped in the 11th. You know what I mean? Like, it was at the end. You know what I mean? Like, my body had nothing left. I had nothing left, B. Listen to me, and I'm a fun fact for me, B. The week of my second fight with Jermell Charlo, I was 164. The week of the fight, I was 164.
Wow.
The week of, and I don't even know how. Like, that whole week, didn't eat, didn't drink, just trained, and I just wanted to lose the weight.
Wow.
Just wanted to lose the weight, and I got there and then by the time I made the weight, I tried to put something back in me. I couldn't even eat. My body wouldn't even hold nothing. You know what I mean? So it's just proper ways to do everything. But for me to do it like that, and me to go 11 rounds with the guy they say is the hardest puncher in the division, you know what I mean? Like, people don't know the backstory to that. You know what I mean? For me to starve myself and make the weight and still go 11 rounds with the hardest puncher in the division ain't got nothing to do with my chin. You know what I mean? Like, for me to lose to Jared Hurd has nothing to do with my chin. You know what I mean? It's exhaustion.
Follow up on this. This next one's from Chuck. He said, after the loss to Charlo in the rematch, is there anything you could have done differently to get the victory?
BC, that's a good question because I really think that I could have did something different. I really think the way I boxed the first fight, like, just showed me like I could outbox anybody. But in my mind, I was so wrapped up into, motherfucker, you ain't better than me. You know, my whole mind was like, just go get this dog. Let's go get him. You know what I mean? Like, my whole mind was so tricked in the bag to say I wanted to be the toughest guy in the ring that day. And that's what fucked me up because, like, I could have had my moments where I walked forward and showed him, like, okay, I'm still a dog too. You know what I mean? But then I should have just got back on my outside shit. You know what I'm saying? But I literally continued that round after round after round after round after round after round after round. And I never got back to Tony. You know what I mean? So if Chuck, you asked me that question, I should have got back to Tony at some of those moments in those rounds instead of just trying to be the toughest guy in the ring.
Last one here from Boxing World Weekly. They want to know, you haven't fought outside the U.S. in over a decade. What's your mindset heading to Australia?
It's almost like going to war for me. You know what I mean? Like I used to tell myself as a child, like I wanted to join the army, not just to join the army, but I just wanted to go to war. You know what I mean? I just wanted to go in some other country, sit in the little dust. You know what I'm saying? Sit in my little cubby hole, throw a little grenade behind me. Like I like those kind of things kind of excite me. You know what I mean? And like I said, Rocky Balboa versus Drago, this is literally like my moment. Like this is my moment to have that same kind of fight in real life instead of a movie. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm just like, I am super stoked. I wouldn't even want to. I probably wouldn't even want to fight him here. Like I don't even want to fight him. Like I want that boo when I walk out. I want them like, you fucking suck. Like I want that. Like I love that. Like you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I know. Yeah, like I want you suck, motherfucker. Okay, you right. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to show y'all who suck more than me. Then you know what I mean? Like so. For me, the environment, the hostility for this fight, man. I know. Like I'm going to a fight knowing that the whole country is rooting for me to lose. And that if that don't excite you, I'm like, what does? Why are you a fighter? You know what I mean? Like that's part of like, what are you a fighter for if you don't want to live for those kind of moments?
That's fantastic. And for me, curiosity say, how are you planning this out? Like, when are you going to Australia? Are you on a week before, a month before, to train all that
You
stuff?
know what? To be honest, be like, I don't even care. Like I don't even ask no questions because really, like I don't really care. You know, just get me over there, and when it's time to fight, I'll be ready to fight. You know, I don't even really be asking like when I'm going over there, what time it is, what corner I'm gonna be in, what like just put me in there, man. Like I'm just a fighter. Just put me in there. Get me there safe.
Yeah.
Put me in the ring. Give us both the same size gloves. Give us both the same size ring. Other than that, man, I don't ask no questions.
Do you prefer to be there like a couple days or a week before the fight to get acclimated to the time change?
Couple weeks before.
Okay.
Couple weeks before.
Got it. All right, Tony Harrison, we come to the last segment of this show. We called it The Last Stand. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You just give me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Talk to me.
All right. I asked
Charlo.
I asked Clarissa Shields this, but in your opinion, who is the best fighter out of Michigan right now?
Me.
All right. Benavidez Plant. March 25th.
Plant.
Wow. Tell me why.
Plant been through the fire already. He's been through the fire. You know what I mean? I just think, again, another classic fight of Bull versus Matador. Another classic fight versus brawler versus boxer. You know what I mean? I just think if I don't care who it is. If you give me Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali, I'm always gonna pick Muhammad Ali. Always, like 100%. I'm always gonna pick. If you give me boxer versus brawler, I'm always gonna pick the boxer. If that's 100%, I'm always gonna. That's the name of the game. Boxing is the name of the game. So I'm always 100,000% gonna pick the boxer. Always.
Tank Ryan Garcia, April 15th. Who wins that fight?
I ain't never going against the black man. Ever. I ain't never going against the black man. I want to see Tank do. I want to see Tank thrive. You know what I mean? But I do think this will be Tank's hardest fight ever. I think this will be his toughest fight he's ever going to have in this division. Other than Shakur. Because I forgot that bad motherfucker in that division now. You know what I mean? So other than Shakur, I just don't see many guys being able to beat Tank.
There's supposedly talk of a Charlo Tszyu fight in this summer. You know, after you know how boxing is.
Right.
They're already making plans for this.
Right.
My question is, will we usurp that, and will we get a trilogy between Harrison and
All
Charlo
I
this
give
year?
a damn about BC is a trilogy. I'm talking about I wrote that boy on Instagram. We didn't talk to each other on Instagram. We didn't text each other. I'm like, brother, give me why do you want to die like this? I do not want to die like this. I do not want to die being 1-1. Let's split the difference. Let's just go. Like you can keep and like for me, Like, I just want to fight him. Like, I don't care about the weight. We can go to 156 where he can keep his belt. Like, I just want to really fight him to show, like, I'm better than him. I like my mind, like I just know I'm better than you. You know what I mean? Like it's like I can't leave the sport until I see him again. I just really want to see. I cannot leave the sport until I see him again. And tell them boys they better cancel some of them parties that they got coming up, man. Tell them put some of that shit on hold now. Tell them no, don't spend no money now. You know what I'm saying? Don't spend no money now for some of these parties that they having. You know what I mean? Like, take your time. Take your time because you got the baddest motherfucker in front of you March 12th.
Last but not least, will Tony Superbad Harrison be world champion at 154 pounds by the end of 2023?
If everything works out right and Charlo hand heals up and he don't take no tune-up fight in between and WBO or whatever belt that Tim Tszyu has that's supposed to be next, and he say yes, Tony Harrison to be champion again by 2023.
There it is, folks. That's what we do here on The Last Stand. We bring you the biggest names in the sport at 154. This guy right here is one of the biggest. He's back, and he's going to be fighting in Australia. Hey, man, it is always great to see you.
BC, man, I thank you, man. I thank you because, like I said, I probably wouldn't even talk to you again had I not been on the others. Like I said, boxing been slow. Boxing been slow, so I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad to see you, brother. I'm glad to talk to you again. You my guy. You my motherfucking guy. So, I'm just glad to talk to you again, man, and to be fighting again. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just happy to be fighting again.
Absolutely. I wish you, Alycia, and the Superbad Gym nothing but the best.
And that's love, brother.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again next week.